evening. Good evening. It's 7 o'clock. It's Thursday. I've had a drink in me, and that means it's Ben's Camera Show. This is where I get to back you all into a corner and talk about Super 8 for the next hour. Hooray! That said, coming up in future weeks, I'm going to diverge from the Super 8. I'm just doing the Super 8 stuff to get into the swing of it, and then I'll be talking to you about all sorts of other stuff. But I'll let you know that at the end of the show. How have you all been, everyone? It's been a week. It has been a week. I went to after the end of last show, I went to the BFI and saw an amazing film-on-film show of straight 8 films. That's films projected on Super 8 straight into the cinema. Very nice. And on Saturday I did Exploding Cinema, so it's been a very busy week for me. How's it been for you? Is everyone enjoying the heat? Yes or no, depending on where you are in the country. I have been I hit the sweet spot a couple of times between it being too cold and too hot, so that was nice once in a while. Let's talk about some cameras. We're going to get straight into it. We're going to talk about Sankio. Now, I have spoken about Sankio on the show before, and Sankio are a Japanese, or were a Japanese camera company. They started off in the early part of the 20th century making music boxes and typewriters, and then they moved that expertise into the realm of Super 8 cameras. And then later on, when the arse fell out of the Super 8 market, they, believe it or not, they made a robot surgeon, which operated on people. Don't know what happened to that. Maybe it killed someone, who knows. But Sankio cameras have been extremely well made over the years, and the makers, Sankio, have approached the art of making cameras with typical Japanese dedication, precision, and quality. So let's have a look, before I tell you which camera we're going to look at today. Let's have a look at the sort of design history of the brand through the 70s. I'm going to go into my little box here. Shall I make the noise? I might as well make the noise. That didn't work. I hit the wrong. I hit the wrong button. Okay, let's try that again. Dear. Boing. Okay, a bit lacking in enthusiasm this time. Anyway, let's have a look. Now, I'm going to show you some Sankios through the years between 1966 and 1979. Hooray! Because what other better way have you got to spend the afternoon or evening, or wherever it is you are? 1966. This is the Sankio Super CM, sir. Sankio Super CM of 1966. Good way to test the sibilance on my microphone. This set the bar for the general Sankio shape, which is square, quite thin, and with a quite extended bottom bit with the handle, as you will see. 1968 brought us the Sankio CM8 with a better lens, I believe. 1969, the CM400, a classic. I've owned one of these. I've featured one of these. They're still knocking around and they still work. Nice metal body. Not too many features, but the features it's got are the important ones. Whoa, jumped forward there. This is the CME 440 from 1971. No, they've still kept the same general shape. The MF404 from 1972, turned into a bit of plastic here. The ES44 from 1975, got more electronics in it this time. They've continued with a similar shape, but it's become a bit plasticky and quite chunky. In fact, that chunkiness was increased when they added the autofocus in 1978 and made this beast. I've made a film about this. This is the Sankio ES44 VAF, the Visitronic autofocus system. Didn't work very well, and it was noisy, and I've had a look, but a pretty good camera under all that, though. And finally, they went completely different. They basically started to sort of rip off the look of the Niso, I'd say, in 1979. It's similar also to the Canon 814 XLS, just in the body shape and the design with the buttons. So they kind of started to sort of follow the trend, or maybe rip people off. I don't know. But tonight we are going back to 1972. And we're going to look at this, the wonderful Sankio MF606. That's right. And let's look at one for real. Whoa, here it is. The MF606. MF stands, of course, for macro focus. That's it. Macro focus. Let me just have a drink here. Ah, oh, damn, it's been hot today. Some people in the house, in the chat here. Flying O says, I'm late to the party, but hello, you're not late. You're exactly on time. We've only just started. Barry's in the house. Hello, Barry. Sorry, I'm late, was walking the dogs. You didn't miss anything, Barry. Just a normal kind of blather on while I actually warmed up and got to a camera. Let's have a look at this Sankio MF606. Now, I have to thank my friend Justin for giving me this. It was in a whole tray of cameras that he gave me. He bought a tray at an auction, and all he wanted was some other camera. Gave me the Super 8 leftovers here. Firstly, on with the gloves. The night trial gloves. So we're looking at 1972 here, and I think this camera kind of hit the sweet spot between the metallic 60s and the plastic 70s, because although it's got sort of plasticky bits here, there's the general body and working parts of the camera, I believe, are more metallic, like all around here. So here it is on this side, and here it is on this side. Let's get the lens cap off. Where do we start? Well, we always start with the power, with the batteries. And as usual, the batteries are contained within the handle here. There we go. And it opens up like so. And it's got one of these battery holders that Sankio are fond of. People ask me where to get these. Sometimes people buy one of these cameras, they can't find the battery holders. I have found them on eBay before. It's hard. You have to find a 4 AA battery holder that's square and that fits into here, which not all of them do. So let's put the batteries into there. Shut it up. To shut it, it's a bit of a fiddle here. I've got to press this little metal catch in to shut the door properly, but there it goes. I'm sure it's a feature, not a bug. Battery check onto the handle. You press that in, and the light meter thing in the viewfinder twitches to show you you're good. Let's start on this side. Now, here's the catch to open it. Film compartment opens like that. And what can it meter? Look at this. It's got the it's got the switches here. Dear. It's got the thing here to measure the ASA of your film cartridge. It can automatically meter. Got it written down here. It can automatically meter several different types of film. It looks like, here we go, 40 ASA, 160 ASA. Just those? I don't know. There's 3 steps on this thing. I think it could probably do more. Probably do 100 as well. Maybe even 64. Anyway, so what we've got on the side here is the usual placement of the Sankio auto or manual exposure adjustment. Very important, that. It's very good. All Sankios seem to have them. You can have complete control over the exposure, so you could film whatever you want in it. T and W is the automated zoom to go towards and away. So unfortunately on this one, it only works when you're actually, this is actually a design thing, but it only works when you're actually running the motor. You can't go zoom in and out without the motor going, unless you of course do it manually. At the back here, well, I won't do the back quite yet. Here we have the usual footage counter. There's a thing that says 1 there, and it looks like something you would screw a shutter release cable into. In fact, while we're at it, there's another thing here that looks like you would screw a shutter release cable, and something on the back here that looks like it would take a cable as well. Although it's not the same, it's not the right one for a shutter release cable. Cecil DeVille says hello. Hello, Cecil. Or is it Cecil? Hello, everyone in the chat. I'm just going to carry on talking about this, and I will get to some of your comments. If you have questions, just write them in the chat. I have one eye on it. So let's see what these three things do. This one, and this one. Right. We'll start with a shutter release cable. Let's stick it into this one. Now, it's labeled. It's got a label that says 1 on it. What does that do? Oh, let's switch up the other microphone. Okay. Now, when that's plugged into 1, several of you probably know exactly what's going to happen. I plug that into there, and I push the shutter release cable, and what happens? That is advancing the film 1 frame at a time. So it has single frame. You can do animation. Fantastic. And here, if I plug this into here, what does that do? Well, of course, it's continuous running. It's a mechanical start-stop there. And this camera is very interesting because not only does it have it mechanically, but it has it electrically as well. So if you've got one of these things, the only way to get one of these, I think, is to look on eBay if you get lucky, or maybe it's in a package with a camera kit. But it's got a micro jack on the end there, and that fits into here. And with the trigger on run lock, it doesn't run until I hit this. So there we go. So it's actually got electric and mechanical remote control. Interesting. Well, obviously the motor is running. A little hesitant, the motor. I don't know. It's a little bashful, I'd say, that motor. I don't know if it's going to go the distance, to be honest. We'll see. Right, what else have we got? Well, discounting the lens for a moment. Here, of course, is the run lock. If it's down, it starts and stops. Doesn't stop you from doing that. If you push that up, it locks the trigger. It also switches off the light meter, which is very important. And finally, well, not finally, but here on this button here, it says 36 on it. Of course, you know what that means. It's the push-in camera motor speed up function. I believe that's the official name of it. And as you're running the camera, if you push that in, what happens? Oh, let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, come on. What has happened? I think I might have done something to it. Let's just try that again. Right, I think I have dislodged the batteries on this thing because the motor seems to have stopped running. Let's have a look in there. Usually it's just something up with the connection on the batteries at the back here. Nope, I don't know what's going on with this. It's well, I'll have to have a look at it later. Doesn't matter, we can carry on without the motor running. Let's have a look at the lens. Now the lens, of course, is what this camera is all about. It's a macro lens, which is very exciting. It not only zooms, well, the closest it can get without the macro is 1.2 meters, and the zoom goes from 8mm all the way to 48. It's not too bad a zoom. And it's got this strange little switch here, which says macro on and off. So that's how you access the macro part of the scale back here. There you go, see? If I switch that macro on, then it'll let you get all the way into the macro, the yellow numbers here. The yellow numbers. Now let's, I'll show you what that looks like. Right, so that's the view through the viewfinder. Easy peasy. That black needle there, it moves around depending on what your f-stop is. And I got the camera really close to a coin and a battery. That close. It's well, with the macro on about 4 centimeters distance, I got these pictures through the viewfinder. Very nice, very sharp. And that's the macro function on this. And of course, when I film tested the camera, I did a bit of macro there too. So we're going to have a look. In fact, if there's nothing else to... Oh, there's one other thing to show you about this camera. Get this back on. And that is up here. This is the socket for a movie light, for a tungsten movie light. And when anything plugs into there, it gets rid of the daylight filter here inside the lens. Okay, so that's to do with your tungsten and daylight film. Luckily, you won't. There's not a blank like little screw there that always gets lost when you plug that kind of thing, because they've actually built one into the hand strap here, the wrist strap, which is amazing. See this thing here? That's a permanently affixed screw, plastic screw or something, which goes into the top here. So basically, this camera can screw itself. Insert dirty joke here, but if I screw that in there, the light goes away. Not the light. The whatchamacallit. The daylight filter is put away. I don't know if we can actually see that going on. Probably not, but let's see. I'll screw it in and see if anyone can see what's going on in there. Yeah, no, I don't think you can. Nah, all right, never mind. Yeah, the camera also has a little knob here. So if your cartridge is properly notched to daylight or tungsten, it will automatically do the thingamajig, the daylight filter. And pretty much those are all the features I found. Hey, Old Radio says, ooh, a Sankyo. Yes, damn right. And yet again, I love the Sankyos. Although I seem to have broken this one. I'm going to have to give it a good look at later on to see what the deal is with it. Anyway, shall we have a look at some footage that I took with this thing before it decided to stop working on the air? Let's have a look. Did I miss anything? Let's have a look. Let's go into... Oh, yeah. I've got some footage here. This is interesting. Whoops. Let's get that. Get this top camera off. Right. And get the slideshow off. So here's what it looks like inside the viewfinder when you're running it. Green light flashes when it's working. There you go. Pretty simple. And that thing in the middle is a focus assist, which is one of those sort of grid-like ones, which I don't know, doesn't work particularly well in my opinion. Let's have a look at some footage taken on the Sankio MF606. Should we have some music while we do it? Why not? Right. Oh, okay. I took this on Kodak 50D. Look at that. Nice. That's zoomed all the way in. And then in a minute, you'll see some macro. That's zoomed in as well. And then zooming out there. I think that's a very nice lens, to be honest. Even on the corners, it's all right. And here's a macro. I screwed up the focus at the front a bit there. Another macro here. It did a very nice job. And there's a macro of last week's camera, the Mirage M10. There we go. I'd say it's a damn good camera when it decides to work. And that was... Oh, no. Stop it. Every time. Anything else to talk about with the Sankyo? Oh yeah, there's one thing. This is just silly. This is just really silly. But I was never a big fan of these handles they have. Apart from the fact that this handle you need to push this thing in so it'll even close. But what I was messing around earlier today, and I folded the handle back, and I thought, well, I was messing around with the thing here, with the automatic shutter release, and I thought, why don't I apply this thing to it? And this is basically a plastic camera handle with a tripod screw on it and a shutter release. And when you pull the trigger on this thing. Oop. There we go. So I thought, well, let's put this on the bottom of the Sankyo and see how that looks. Even though it's already got a handle, I folded the handle back, attached this one, and then attached the shutter release cable to the thing there. And look at that. Boss. That is gear. Let's hard to even zoom out. See the whole thing. Nice. Nice. I'm going to hold this up. Let's change hands here. Here we go. There. If you hold it, it starts looking like one of those ones with the big magazine in it. There. See? Suddenly people take you seriously when you got one of these on there. And if you do that, it does actually start it up. Anyway, that's that's what I do to impress people these days. Right. Moving along. Oh, should we see what one of these costs on eBay? Yes, why don't we? I'll get into my little box again. eBay. Come and show us how much this is worth. Well, one went for £35 on the 13th of May this year. 35 quid. And another one is on sale. That looks like a complete kit there. Complete set. I don't know what good condition it's in. But another one's going for £150. You think, well, that's a crazy price. CameraCrate.com. Good luck selling people one of these for £150. And look, I found this as well. This is amazing. It's a macro titler set. This is similar to the one you get on the UMIG Minis, Mini 5. It's basically, you put this device on the front of the Sankyo, and then you can put slides into it. You insert slides into the thing, and it comes with all these really cool slides here. These surrounding ones, and then there's the classic, keyhole and binoculars and heart and everything. So I might get this. Someone's selling this whole set for £10. That's so cool. I love those. In fact, that's leading us into next week's show, where next week I'm going to talk about all the stuff I did with a slide attachment on the UMIG Mini. Yeah, nice. Okay, that's the Sankyo. Oh my goodness, the chat's gone berserk. Well, Old Radios has gone berserk on the chat. He's got antique record players. And, oh my God, but he has no... Wow. CMOS batteries. Yeah, that's right. Yes. Looks very nice. How do you like the viewfinder view on this camera? It's a very good viewfinder view. It's very clear. There's no fogging, and it's very simple to read. Is it tested? Yes, I'm lucky. I got lucky with my 1218, but I'm not a gambling man, says Old Radios. Awesome. Yes, it is awesome, isn't it? It's all awesome. Everything on this show is freaking awesome. Right. Let's get on to the next part of the show. This is a very exciting part because I'm going to give the results of some amazing expired color film that I tested. Yes, I was given, let's get rid of that. I was given by the lovely Phil from the lovely Cinema Museum a bunch of really old cartridges of various color film, and I wanted to see whether they worked. So what did we get? What do we have? We have this one firstly, this weird Clurin color, but I don't know if the Clurin is the name of it. It might just be color in another word, in another language. 40 ASA, yeah, some very weird stuff. This free film service it's from. Now I believe I've looked up on the Filmcorn site, and it says it's 3400 Kelvin, lots of question marks, made in the United Kingdom by Free Film Service. We think it's Ferrania film stock. It's not Kodachrome. They always get the nice leaflet there. And then it just gives you a PO box to send the film to. So there's all the different conditions under which you can shoot it. It doesn't come in a nice foil pack. It comes in a little ratty plastic bag. Well, I guess if it's free, I don't know if it's free. You got to pay to have it developed, to be paid for in return for processing. Yeah, I think and it's kind of brown like that. Funny thing about it is it's very difficult to tear, like it's a polyester film. Very odd. Anyway, let's look at the next one. What's next after the free film service? A bit weird, this one. Let's get this bit of music here as well. Why not? Ah, Ektachrome 160. Sound Ektachrome 160. My goodness. Yes, well, I tried this. Expired 1982. January 1982. Should be interesting to see what this looks like. I tried all of these, by the way, with color negative and color reversal. I did an E6 process and I did an ECN2 process. We're going to see all of the results of that. Look at that color film. Unfortunately, this one was a little bit seized up in the cartridge, as you'll hear in a second here. I tried to turn it with the spindle, and look, yes, see, there's the notching there, and listen to that. It really doesn't want to move. Oh dear! So I had to decant that to thumbs down. It's all seized. It's too stiff all over the years. So I had to take that out and put it into a reloadable cartridge in order to shoot any of it. And of course, the reloadables are silent cartridges, so I wasn't able to get it in sound. Never mind. We're only doing test strips here. I pulled basically a foot of film out of each of these inside the changing bag, and tested and developed just that foot and reconnected them. Now, what else we got? Asophoto. Orwo and Svema got together. Make Asphoto. 25 ASA. Oh my goodness, that's a slow film. Gonna need to give that lots and lots of light. Yeah. And what are we looking at? This was made. God knows when was the? Here we go. No. Where is the expiry? Here we go. It's stamped into there. 1990 XI. So I guess November 1990. This expired. It's a comparatively fresh roll of film there. Acetate. It's daylight type. It's 25 ASA, 5600 Kelvin. Now this is nice. Look. So look. It's got the pictures as to when what kind of conditions that you need to shoot in. So if you are the top there, if you're taking your 17th fridge to the lake to dump it, and you want someone to film you, and you have to stop for a moment because someone's drowning in the lake, that's F16. If you follow a strange man on a country road who has a stick, who keeps turning around to ask why you're following him, then do that at F11. And if you see fleetingly a horrific shadow from the depths of hell just sort of dissolving as it goes past some house, then that's F8. So some very useful advice there from Orwo. And what else on the thing? Oh yeah, that basically says if there's something wrong with it, then send it back, and as long as you didn't expose it badly, then they'll replace it. So it was very difficult to open this foil pack. Funnily enough, I had to speed it up there. So yes, there we go. Some Orwo UT15. This one's called. And does it go through the cartridge? It's kind of a sort of a brownish shape. And it's notched for 40 ASA, or should be notched for 15 ASA. Tiny notch. So that's the UT15. What's next? What else did we have a look at? Dixon's. Let's just. I think the dryer was going. Dixon's. God knows what. I think this was also made. I think made by Agfa. Oh no, Ferrania. It's also Ferrania film stock. God knows how this one's going to turn up. Well, we will find out because I actually developed the whole of that. And finally, Peru Chrome, made in the Andes by Incas. It's Super 8, which is I think might be from the Agfa people. It looks like November 1970. This one or 78. God, what is that? An 8 or a 0? I think it's an 8, but at this point, it doesn't really make any difference. I was joking about Peru. It's made by a company called Perutz in Germany. It was 40 ASA. Who knows what it is now? Well, we'll find out. Look at that lovely, shiny green foil packet. Oh, that reminds me of Christmas back in the day. It's so nice. I was sad to get rid of that. Old radio says late 80s Soviet stock. And it comes with an envelope. Yay, I got another envelope. Oh, they're so nice. Can never bring myself to throw these things away. It's a nice one. Very pristine. You write your address on one side and then the lab's address on the other side. I wonder where the lab is that would do this. Ah, you've got a leaflet there as well with all the different ways to shoot Peru Chrome. And here are all the places where you can send it. What about for the UK? What are we looking at? Oh, it's just a PO box. SW193UJ. I wonder where that is. SW193. Well, I can't be bothered to look it up now. It's probably some person's house. Someone who receives a roll of Peru Chrome every so often. Yes, I love that they have these little information notes. They're so nice. Ah, right. And finally, let's just open up the... Oh, I love that. That green, shiny... How does the cartridge look? Come on, get on with it. This video is costing me money. Nice label. Nice green label. Made in Germany. Interesting. It doesn't say West Germany. It just says Germany. Now, does that mean it was made in East Germany? You know how they would do that sometimes. That's it. That's the Peru Chrome. So, shall we see how these went? As I said, I took a little... I took a strip of film out of each one of those, ran it through by camera on I can't remember which camera it was. I think it was a good one. I think it was an okay one, like a Canon 814 XLS. I don't want to take chances with the camera when I'm taking enough chances with the actual film stock. So I ran it through about a foot each, and then I cut each foot in half, and I did one bunch of strips in E6 reversal, and I did the other half in ECN2, color negative developer. And I used the normal, completely normal 3 and a bit minutes for the color negative, and I think 6 minutes for the E6 at 40 degrees. And let's see how that looks. No, not that. Here we go. Okay, it doesn't take long, so blink and you'll miss it. Here we go. So, oh yeah, I should say there's a color chart propped up on a sofa and a letter. And the letter is to identify which stock is which. So P is for Peru Chrome. So let's play that again. So this is in ECN2 to color negative. It's the Peru Chrome in the EC reversed. Oh, that's the negative reversed on the computer. Looks a little bit slightly crap, but that's good compared to what you're about to see. And here we have, what do we have here? Here's the, this is what the free film service one looked. Came out very green. Reversed on computer, of course, green goes to purple. Yep. And do I have some of that on E6? Whoa! The hell happened there? We'll look at that later. That's the result of the evening. Orwo also came out very green. I found that old Agfa and Ferronius tend to come out green in ECN2. Whoa, so that reversed looks very purpley. I think these old stocks are going to be for special effects, to be honest. Music videos and stuff. E6. This is the Orwo in E6. Very orange. Oh my goodness. Here's the Ektachrome. What the hell happened there? What happened here is the developing agent was too hot. I basically overcooked probably all of these by putting them in 40-degree developer. Amazing effects there. The emulsion is actually peeling off there. There we go. It's peeling off. Yeah, if I'm going to do another test, and I did keep a few bits back for testing, I'm going to do... And here's the Dixons, another green one. Color negative, and then reversed on the computer. Yeah, if I'm gonna shoot the rest of these, I think I'm gonna develop them in some much cooler developing liquid, like 24 degrees, not 40 degrees. Because if you overcook this stuff, my goodness, the emulsion does not like it. Oh, finally, here's the Dixons done in E6. Some kind of image there. All right, yes. Old Radio says, looks like an artifact. Yeah, that's the kindest thing you can say about it, really. Although, let's have a quick look at some more of those. Oops. There's some more of those still frames here. Here we go. So that's what all those test strips looked like when they were put on a light thing. So some of them, the light can shine through, like that third one from the left, that dark brown one. You can see the images there, but at a slightly lower light, you can't see anything coming through there. Yeah, a bit of a multicolored effect, really. Got a whole rainbow out of them there. So here's the Orwo. Yeah, very very bluish. Here's the Dixons. That's the Dixons reversed. It's all purple. E6, the Dixons. What the hell? Straight out of the color negative developer, it's all green. The Ektachrome. Well, my goodness me, look at this. That's amazing. That kind of yellow, kind of papery looking thing. That's the yellow emulsion that's peeled off it, thanks to the hot developer. Yeah. This is what happens when I screw up badly. This is a nice one. The blue, this is the reverse of that. The blue is the yellow emulsion that's coming off, and underneath it is this reticulated layer. It looks a bit like giraffe skin, doesn't it? Over the E. So yeah, that's basically where the emulsion has cracked and started blistering. Hasn't started to come off yet, but it's damn near close. And it's made these amazing patterns here. Talking of amazing patterns, the free film service stuff, okay, in negative, it kind of behaved itself. Whoa! What's going on? It looks like a Keith Haring illustration. This is these are cracks in the emulsion that followed the laws of physics in where they cracked and what angle they cracked at. I think it's 120 degrees. And it looks like a repeating pattern, but it really isn't. It's a non-repeating, infinitely variable pattern. Look at those. Looks amazing. I mean, this is not the result I was expecting, but Jesus. Let's look at that even closer. Look at that closer up. Whoa. Holy crap. I mean, this is the kind of effect you can't do if you try. Oh, I could always heat it up again. Look at that. Look what it's done around the sprocket hole. It's like a bunch of slugs all feeding from a tray or something. Amazing. Oh, it looks a bit like a micro circuit, doesn't it? It looks like one of those newfangled silicon chips on a board. Incredible. Worth all the trouble just for this kind of result. I should probably print that out. Should make a print of that. Yeah, maybe I will. And finally, is that all the? Yes, that's the test footage. So I'm still in the process of shooting all of these, the rest of them. Old Radio says, looks like a very special Christmas film. Huh? Memphis Milano Chrome. I have no idea what part of my spiel Old Radios is reacting to there. But let's have a look at one of those, which I did. I shot the Dixons one, the Dixons that came out bright green. And, well, prepare yourself for, for the Dixons done in reversal, done in color negative. This was shot by my daughter Lily, gave me permission to shoot this, to use this. Holy moly. I mean, what? Psychedelic. Wow. Bear in mind that if I did this in the proper development, it would probably look a lot better. Now, this is interesting. This was already on the cartridge. So this basically is complete random strangers, what they filmed on the rest of it. It looks like from the 80s. That looked like an episode of The Bill. It's very, let's get some music on there. Yeah, so this is, oh, look, an old style pack of Embassy cigarettes. They can't get them looking like that anymore, unless you're Sean Reynard. Now, a classic film in the, family things in the 80s. Everyone's sitting around watching The Bill on a 14-inch thing. Whoa! What was that? What was that? Whoa! Stop the clock. What? This guy. Let me have a look at that. What was that at the very end when he had enough light? Let's see that again. Something. Oops. Here we go. Oh, here. There's the cigarette packet. This guy. Here we go. I think it's a guy. There, look. He's got some equipment. That's his equipment room. Look at that. He's got an editor. He's got a projector. Looks like a 16mm projector. And he's probably just running out the... So just for a second, he got to something really interesting. Is there another one? No. Anyway. Well, whoever you are, random person from the 80s, we salute you. And I'm hoping that we can somehow reunite this footage with its owner, even though I did a pretty shockingly horrible job developing it. So that's the Dixons. Look, there we go. Look. Oh, there's some kit. Some gear. There. Look, he's got all shelves, projectors. This guy was kitted out. Nice. If I turn a little to my left, I can see almost exactly the same kind of mess in the corner of the room here. Right, that's the Dixons, and that is those are the two main features I'm going to show you tonight. But of course, we never finish without the live film show. So I'll just test that out. Wow, Flying O says loving that. I don't. Well, whatever it is you loved, I'm hoping. Now, do we have images here? An image. Let's have a look here. So I have a DSLR here, which I have to switch on and configure. Here we go. Okay, that. Let's just prove that this is a live. There we go. That's my hand. Now, what are we going to watch this time? We're going to watch a film that I literally rescued from a skip outside the Cinema Museum. Cinema Museum gets a ton of old films donated to it all the time. And some of them are a bit moldy. Some of them they just don't have space for. This one ended up, unfortunately, in a skip, so I rescued it. And all it was labeled was Norway 1976 Goodland, or Godland, I think. Norway 1976. Could this show get any more exciting? I submit that it cannot. Okay. Now, what could be more exciting than Norway footage of Norway in 1976? I believe this was taken on a school trip. Even more exciting than that, we're going to show it. My standard 8 projectors decided to do a go slow today, and it's not. It's look at that. It's a car ferry. Car ferries of 1970s Norway. Someone's got to be interested in that. Let's put some more music on. Do we have music? Oh well, we'll put the jazz back on then. I know what it was. There we go. Old Radio says, I'm outraged they would do that to a film. Oh, listen, mate, you know, they do such a good job, such an amazing job of it, of preserving stuff. But they're running against the tide here, because it's just, where have I gone? Never mind. This is not... Whoops. Yeah, so this was some school trip or other. And it gets a bit interesting soon because they go on a plane. Yeah, so even more interesting than Norway in 1970 is Norway in 1970 in slow motion. I made that joke already. I don't know why my... Oh well. Nice. A bygone time. Yeah. Or maybe you just can't see me because it's not bright enough. Oh, whatever. Oh, whoops. Let's just see if I can see myself. Dear, we've had a couple of technical hiccups today, but never mind. You can still hear me, right? Yes, believe it or not, I am here. Oops. Old Ray says, pining for the fjords, yes. Aren't we all? I'm tired and shagged out after a long squawk. Oh, and those cars are amazing. Nice. Let's see if I can get myself back on. Oh, I can. Here we go. Hey, here I am. Here I am. Technical hitch there. Nice. Now let's try and get that. Whoops. Try and get that. Try and stop that banding. Or should we bother? Let's try and stop that banding. Okay, you're going to see now how to stop banding. So go to FPS override, and then I go to this Q, decide FPS. Okay, so I can choose my video FPS, frames per second. So there we go, that's better. So if I get it up to higher up, it doesn't look so good. 12. That's, yeah, for some reason this thing's only going at 12 frames a second. Still, that's better. There we go, that's much better. So the class is now at the 1970s Norway railway station. Nice. Oh boy. Well, I think as the class boards the coach to the airport, let's put the end credits on. This has been Ben's Camera Show number 40, produced and presented by myself, Ben Slotover. The next show will be in 1 week, Thursday 22nd of June at 7 o'clock British summertime. And if you want to know more, go to zerobudgetfilmschool.com. That's www.zerobudgetfilmschool.com. I also teach this stuff. So if you want private... Oh, look at that, old 70s airport. Nice. I realised I might have been drowning myself out with the music. Look at that, that's an old 707... Fuck 7, I don't know what it's called. SAS. Yes, they're flying SAS. Nice. Yeah, I think they had quite a lot of... Look at these guys. That guy on the right, that's like me. He's probably some teacher. Bergen, they flew back from Cecil DeVille learns. Today I learned what MF stands for. Thanks, Ben. You're welcome. Macro focus. Hey, you get your macro focusing hands off my mother. Anyway, so there we go. Old Rose, and they were going to destroy it. Nice. Look, the inside of a plane. Back in the 70s. Wow, they knew how to live back then. Oh, the music's finished. Let's put another one on. Some completely ridiculous Cuban music for no reason. Because, you know, Cuba, Norway. Yeah, so now it lives on for the ages. Unfortunately, this guy was not particularly good at filming on aircraft. He was, I gotta say, he was. Oh look, there he is. Selfie. Why isn't he smoking a fag? That would be even better. Oh, there's me again from another time, from the 70s. I was like, what, 5 years old at this time? Look at that, they're serving them food and stuff on plane without charging them. Oh boy, world's all gone to crap, hasn't it? Anyway, let's finish up there. Thanks everyone for joining me. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. And we're going to be talking about slides next week. We're going to be talking about slides, and I did some amazing things with slides. And I'm going to show you what I did. I made a film. We'll see the online premiere of my film made from slides and Super 8 and stuff. So, yeah, thank you. Oh, Barry says, another great show, Ben. See you on the next one. See you too, Barry. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for tuning in, everyone. And we'll see you next week. Whoa, 51 minutes. Getting quicker. Flying O says, doesn't matter what part of the world people are in, everybody takes the same kind of home movies. Yeah, everyone films out the window of airplanes. Oh, I've got to go. I've got to go and clean all this crap up and get ready for next week. See you, everyone. Cheers. Oops. And good night. Whoa. Later. Great show, everyone. That was a Sylvania TV that played slides. Oh, I can't get into it now. Next time, Barry. All your slide questions and answers will come next time. Cheers.